Um, but what is the anatomy of the Gayatri? Yeah, so the Gayatri Mantra essentially has got various components. And as I told you a million times again, Omkara, Bhurbhuva Suvaha, and then Tatsavituhu, Varaniyam, Bargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. So there are the three components of Gayatri. Okay, so this is something that we need to understand first. There are three components of the Gayatri. Now, these three components of the Gayatri actually form the basis of how this Gayatri mantra has been celebrated and evolved in the Vedic literature. Now, if you look at the top end here, I've divided Gayatri, the original Gayatri, into two types. There is something called the Brahma Gayatri, and there is something called the Vishwamitra Gayatri. So you might find this interesting information useful. So there's a lot of nitty gritties here. So what is Brahma Gayatri? Brahma Gayatri is Tatsavituhu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. So that component is called the Brahma Gayatri. But when you include Om and then Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, then that becomes the Vishwamitra Gayatri. So if you want to hold on to that thought as we go along, that there is the Brahma Gayatri, there is the Vishwamitra Gayatri, but it is the Vishwamitra Gayatri that we all recite and worship the Supreme in that mantra. Vishwamitra Gayatri is that Gayatri that Vishwamitra, in his deep contemplation of the Supreme Being, that this mantra was revealed to him, and that is why we call it as Vishwamitra Gayatri. So you have Pranava, which is the Omkara, you have the Vyahriti, which is Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, and then you have the Gayatri. Okay, bear with me, most of you will be aware of all this, but we just build it up as we go along in layers of complexity. Okay, so now before you understand where, or before we all understand where this Vishwamitra Gayatri or Brahma Gayatri has actually evolved in our Vedic literature, it's always worthwhile recapitulating and revising this figure that we have done so many times. And as Veda Vyasa says, Avrittihi Asakrit Upadeshat. Whenever you have the opportunity, do revision. The more revision you do, the more firmed up your knowledge gets. Okay, so let's do a very quick revision of the whole Vedic scriptures that we have. So you have at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, when much of the Vedas were lost, our Vyasa, who is the incarnation of Vishnu himself, appears in Bharatvarsha. He compiles the Vedas, whatever that was left at that point. He just brought them all together, gave it to his four disciples, Paila, Vaishampayana, Jaimini, and Sumantu. The one that was given to Paila came to be known as Rig Veda, which is all poetry. The one that was given to Vaishampayana is known as Ejush, which is in prose. Then the one that was given to Jaimini is in Sama, which is all in music. And Sumantu gets Atharva Veda, which is basically a combination of Rig and Ejus. Yeah. So we have all the Upashakes that we spoke about, Krishna Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda, and how many Upashakes or branches currently are there, and how many verses that are still available. So it is all there for you to go back and revise, but always useful to have this view first. And then in Rig Veda, there are about 10,500 or so verses that are still available for our self-study and contemplation. Okay, so when you look at the Rig Veda Samhita has got 10 books. And as I've told you before, books in Rig Veda literature is called mandala. And there are 10 mandalas that we have in Rig Veda Samhita. First mandala is called Shatarshi Mandala. Second mandala is called Gritsmada Mandala. Third mandala is called Vishwamitra Mandala. Fourth mandala is called Vamadeva Mandala. Fifth is called Atri Mandala. Sixth Bharadwaja Mandala. Seven Vasishta Mandala. Eighth Pragata Mandala. Nine Pavamanya Mandala. And the 10th mandala is called Kshudra and Mahashukta Mandala. So these are the 10 mandalas. So first thing that should catch your attention when I gave these names, when I gave names for each mandala, is you will realize that most of these mandalas have got a name of a rishi. Yeah. Shatarshi, Vishwamitra, Vamadeva, Atri, Bharadwaja, Vasishta. So these are all most celebrated rishis of the Vedic times. And the mandalas or those revelations that these rishis had that has been compiled in these books. Yeah, so that's the first thing that we all need to familiarize ourselves. The mandalas means rishis. So then we go to two rishis here who keep coming in the Vedic literature, and Shushrut Kulkarni ji is going to talk to us about that in a few minutes' time. So you have the third mandala, the seer of this is the Vishwamitra. And then you have the seventh mandala, the seer of this is Vashishta. So, and we all know these rishis, we have heard about these rishis, but these are really big guys in Vedic times. And they also have had a lot of interaction between them, Vishwamitra and Vasishta, and a whole lot of stories in Puranas that is available for our consumption here. So let's go to the third mandala, which is called Vishwamitra Mandala. Okay, Vishwamitra Mandala has got several suktas or hymns. It's got 62 hymns. Okay, and in the 62nd hymn, the 10th rik is your Gayatri Mantra. So that is where the Gayatri Mantra is actually placed when you look at the Vedic literature as well. Among 10,500 riks, there is just this one rik in 362.10, which has caught the imagination of people, not just only those who practice Sanatana Dharma, but all philosophers and religions of the world who appreciate this one particular verse among the 10,500 verses that are there. Of course, every verse in the Rig Veda is important and profound, but this particular verse has somehow caught everyone's attention. So, third mandala, 62nd Sukta. HinduKnowledgeAcademy.com will celebrate Vedic culture and present its philosophies to the modern Hindu in an accessible format. Our ancient heritage is our greatest strength. Through preservation and dissemination, together let us spread positivity in the world. Thank you for listening and welcome to Hindu Knowledge Academy.